Hey guys, today I'll be teaching you guys on how to make a teleporter part that teleports players from one part to another. So as you can see, if I touch this red part, I basically teleport to this green part, and if I keep doing it, I basically get teleported every single time I touch the red part. So let's get right into it. Okay guys, so basically what I want you guys to do is insert a part in workspace, and I'm just going to resize it to a square, and I'm going to duplicate this part and add another part right over here, and I'm going to rename this part to start, and I'm going to rename this part to end. And now what we do is we go to the start part and we insert a script under the start part. Now what we're going to do is we're going to delete the whole script, and now we're going to get the start part, which is local start part equals script dot parent. As you can see, the script is under the start, so you're basically in the part by typing script dot parent. And now what we're doing is we're getting the end part by simply typing local end part equals workspace dot end part. Oh, it's just end, yeah, end. Now what we're going to do is we're going to check if the player touched the start part by simply typing start part dot touch connect function, and we're going to simply type hit, which is the other part. Now what we're going to do is we're going to check if the part that is being touched is a character. So we simply check if the part's parent has a humanoid. So what we do is we put local humanoid equals hit dot parent find first child humanoid. And after that, we check if the humanoid exists by simply typing if humanoid then. And what do we do is now we're going to get the character, which is local character of player who touch the part, which is hit dot parent. Now what do we do is we simply move the character from the start part to the end part by simply typing character who touch the end part, and we put move to. This is a special function which basically moves characters from one part or one position to another. Now we type end part dot position, and that's pretty much it. This is how you create a script that teleports a player from one place to another. Now in the end, I'll just use some polishing touches, like change the color. I'll change the color to red. Okay, yeah. And now if we hit play, now as you can see, if we touch this green part, you can see that we're being teleported here. As you can see, we're being teleported. Now guys, as you might have seen the teleportation happen, you guys might have noticed that something is not right. So basically, if I go ahead and play the game, I'm going to try to touch this pad, you can see that the character is like lagging behind the part. As you can see, if I touch the part, the character sometimes kind of lags behind the part. So how do you avoid this? What we do is we simply use a debounce in the script. So basically, a debounce is a variable that is used to track or basically give a cooldown to a specific event. Now let me show you guys how a debounce works. So basically what I type is local debounce equals false. And now here, instead of just checking if the humanoid only exists, we also check if the debounce equals false by simply typing and debounce equals false then. And now what you do is you teleport the player to the end part. However, another line to note is that we put debounce equals true, because the main issue with the touch event is that if we touch this part, a lot of this event is being called a lot of times. So basically, if you're touching this part, like a lot of times, the part is getting touched, not just once. Because if you're running over the part, the touch event gets called a lot of times. And to simply avoid that this event being called multiple times, we simply use a debounce to prevent this whole event from being run a lot of times. And that is pretty much the reason why we use debounce. And after all of that, what we do is we simply add a task.wait 0.5. We wait for 0.5 seconds, and in the end, what we do is we put debounce equals false. So basically here what is happening is that if the debounce equals false, debounce automatically becomes true, so this whole event will not run more than once until after 0.5 seconds has been finished, and after that debounce becomes false and this whole event becomes playable again. Now if we hit run, as you can see, if I touch the start part, you can see that the character is not being lagged back. Now if I touch it, the character is transporting or teleporting in a very smooth manner. And this is one of the main reasons why we use debounce, to prevent certain events from firing way too many times. Thank you so much guys for watching this video. I really hope that this video gave a useful insight as to how teleport parts work, and I'll see you guys in the next tutorial.